Every year in the NFL, it's a new team. As far as goals go, we have one. Putting a ring on our finger.
Welcome to the Buccaneers Observer Podcast. This is Ralph Phillips.
I'm Molly Day.
Today is August 20th, 2021. We have, let me see, 20 days. 20 days left. Oh my gosh.
It seems like it's less than that, but I think you're right.
August 19th or August 20th to September 9th.
You are correct.
Bam. I love it when you say that. Just gets me all worked up.
Stop it. Get a room.
Get a room with myself. All right, we got a good podcast for you today. We're going to be covering the Tennessee game Saturday, preseason game number 2 against the Buccaneers, reigning world champions. I love saying that. The reigning world champions. Saturday. So, and then we have some news. You got Bucs news, right?
Yeah.
Is it all tied in together?
Yeah.
So this is basically just this is our preseason, because normally we do a pregame show for Sunday. This is our preseason too. Mm-hmm. So bear with our mistakes.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, fact checks and follow-ups. Drum roll,
your
please.
mistakes. I don't make any.
There's only 2.
Oh, okay.
And neither one of them was a fact check. The one follow-up is we had quite a few people comment to us, send us messages in regards to Alfer, whatever her name is.
Meryl. Yeah.
The assistant strength and conditioning coach, the female on our, one of 2 female coaches on our staff, who is always positioned around Bruce Arians on the sidelines. And during the broadcast, every time they show him, you see her. And it's something that's I've noticed for over a year now, right? And we were, who is deciding this? I mean, she's an assistant coach and a strength and conditioning coach at that. There's no reason for her to be around Bruce Arians. Well, we had a lot of people comment to us that maybe she is the get-back coach. Mm-hmm. A get-back coach is somebody who is responsible to make sure that the coach doesn't step onto the field. They're supposed to stay behind the white lines, but they never do. They always stand in it. The refs are quite lax on that. Just as long as you don't run into them as the refs are running by, they're kind of cool with it. But there will be a get-back coach who is responsible to make sure the coach doesn't go too far out.
Which Sean McVay of the Rams famously had the most animated one, where he was very, very dramatic. You got to look it up on YouTube if you haven't seen it. It's pretty funny. And I think that's when the get back coach kind of became a thing with the NFL fan base. I don't think a lot of people had heard of it before that. Mm-hmm. And so Sean McVay kind of popularized it.
Blame it on Sean McVay. It's his fault.
Yeah.
But I do not think that's what it is. Personally, I don't think that's what it is, because I have never seen her communicate with him or touch him or anything. She's always just kind of looking around and not really paying attention. She's definitely not looking at him.
Would you, when BA's going off, would you be grabbing him, trying to pull him back?
Well, if it was my job, yeah.
No, I would not.
Well, and another thing that makes me think that might not be it is we've watched some other teams that have female coaches, and we've noticed it was with the Atlanta game we were watching, Atlanta versus Tennessee, and Atlanta had the same thing. They had an assistant coach standing by the head coach who was a female. And I think it's something that the NFL is getting teams to do. And
it wasn't just Atlanta either. I think there were 2 other games that we watched where they had it. I want to say the Panthers, or I'm going to say the Panthers because it was like a blue uniform.
Okay. Might have been Tennessee.
Yeah. I don't think it was Tennessee because they wore the white this last game. But it's something I'm going to watch in the regular season.
Yes, and we ask all y'all out there listening to this to keep an eye on it. Let's figure out what it is. Molly said that she thought it was the Glazers, Darcy, because she's into that kind of stuff, and she wanted to portray that the Buccaneers are very, what's the word about equality, women friendly. Yeah, well, we got the red,
women in red.
So we're big into that stuff, and Bruce Arians is big into it. But from what I'm seeing, really starting to pay attention to it with the other coaches in the league, having the female assistant coaches around them. It seems like it's something the NFL has said, hey, we want women coaches and we want you to put them on camera. We want them around the coach so that when we show the coach, you see the female there as well.
Isn't that kind of objectifying?
Oh, God, yeah. It's all ridiculous.
The
NFL on social media had put out a thing today saying that 16 of the 32 teams now have female coaches, and they hope to have it up to 32 by next year. So it's definitely something that they're pushing. It's a PR campaign. Yeah. So there's that. That's the follow-up, that she might be the get-back coach. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Next follow-up. I was talking about boxing and how Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard used to go at it. I mean, they swapped the belt back and forth. But there was a third guy. I couldn't remember who his name was. The best boxing match I've ever seen was Marvin Hagler versus this guy, and it's considered one of the best boxing matches. And it's Tommy Hearns. That's the guy, and he fought with Sugar Ray Leonard, and he fought with Hagler like a champ. I mean, it was really good boxing, but because Hagler and Sugar Ray were just a little bit better than him, he never got the belt. And if it wouldn't have been for those two, he would have been the champion for a long time. That's what I'm saying. Competition means everything. Your competition establishes who you are, where your position is. It's all about your competition, and you don't see that in NFL stats. You don't see, for instance, Devin White, was it last year? He had a 3-sack game. And don't get me wrong, I love Devin White. I think he's great. But those 3 sacks were not real sacks. 2 of them were because the quarterback slid and he didn't cross the line, and Devin White just walked over and touched him. And then the third one, he wasn't even, nobody blocked him, and he just came in free. So, you go, are those really sacks? He didn't really beat anybody. He didn't do anything. So, I mean, on paper, yes, he got 3 sacks. But in reality, it's not like he... I'm not trying to make his 3 sacks look bad, but you go, those sacks don't mean as much as somebody that blows through a defensive lineman and a running back to get to the quarterback on 3rd down with a minute left to go in the game. So that's what I was getting at with all that. The competition matters. You always got to look at competition when you evaluate people. Who are they going up against? And that's why I say that the last year Buccaneers were the best football team that's ever been, because of our competition in the playoffs. The Redskins, they weren't, although they gave us the hardest, most difficult time. We went up against Drew Brees, and then we went up against Aaron Rodgers, and then we went up against Patrick Mahomes. And it wasn't just those 3 quarterbacks. Those were really 3 elite level teams. We whooped them, beat them all. I don't know if that's ever happened. I don't ever recall it ever happened. We did it all on the road, except for Mahomes. We played them in the home field advantage in the Super Bowl.
I wonder how much that had to do. Well, no, we just destroyed them. We would have done that anywhere.
It don't matter. They could have had a healthy offensive line. They could have had all their coaches. Everything could have been going right for them, and they would have gotten beat by 25 points instead of.
I know. Yeah.
30 like we did. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for the fact checks and follow-ups. Let's get into some stuff, man.
Okay, we'll cover some news first, and then we'll talk about training camp. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. All right. I can't remember if I talked about this. Hold on. No, I didn't. Okay, so the Panthers traded offensive tackle Greg Little to the Dolphins in exchange for a 7th-round pick. So we've got that. So we talked about Deshaun Watson. I think that was another follow-up. Deshaun Watson, the FBI is getting in on the investigation. And someone commented that it's because of sex trafficking. That's the angle that the FBI has. So we'll see how that plays out.
Which could mean anything. Sex trafficking is one of those laws that is extremely broad. When you think sex trafficking, you think of, people grabbing kids and selling them.
Yeah, put them in a shipping container and,
right. But it's not. If you frequent a prostitute or an escort, you can get arrested for sex trafficking.
And that's Lovey's son.
Mm-hmm.
He got arrested for sex trafficking, and he was a pimp. That's what, that's what he got in trouble for. So they've just rebranded prostitution.
Yeah, well, we don't really know with Lovey because it never went to court, so we didn't get evidence. We don't know what the facts are in the case, but apparently it wasn't that big of a deal. He got probation and a fine of $1,400 or restitution of $1,400. So, it sounds sex trafficking, but, he could be charged with sex trafficking just because he's paid somebody for sex.
Mm-hmm. Right, like Robert Kraft, where he went into the happy ending massage place.
Yeah.
And that's what they were trying to get him for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those big scary headlines that when you look into it, you go, oh, yeah, come on. That's not sex trafficking.
Oh, okay. So we waived safety Raven Green, he's been injured the whole camp, and apparently he was in Green Bay before he came to Tampa, and that was the criticism of him there too, was that he was always injured. So we waived him, and then we signed offensive lineman Brandon Walton from the Steelers.
Good. Can't have enough offensive linemen.
I know.
It's going to be interesting to see the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, how they're going to do. I think they're on their decline.
Like way down.
Yeah.
Just hanging on there. But, Mike Tomlin, he always pulls it out. And they're always playing tough and competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with their division opponents. I just love that division.
Yeah.
Those games are always good. Even when the Browns, or now it's like the Bengals. Even the Bengals kind of put up a fight.
Mm-hmm.
They're the new Browns.
The Bengals are the new Browns.
Yeah.
Orange is the new black. So, orange is the new Browns. The thing about I liked with the Steelers, because, again, we say this all the time. This is all entertainment. The Steelers are a very entertaining football team. They have been my whole life. I was a Steelers fan growing up. Big Lynn Swann, Lambert, all those guys. I was a big fan of them.
Well, I just love that rivalry. We've talked about it before. I grew up in Maryland, and actually, in fact, everyone was super mad about the Colts for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
My dad still will not have anything to do with the Colts, but the Ravens kind of became a thing after. In my lifetime, I was born when the Ravens came to town. And so I grew up, in that area. It was either you were a Redskins fan or a Ravens fan. My family kind of fell more on the Ravens side of it. But so I grew up just hating the Steelers. It didn't really matter as far as what team you liked. You just had to hate the Steelers. So, which I was totally good with. And so I love that rivalry. I love watching it. I love that they always have those games on prime time. There's a good chance you're going to see an AFC, what are they, the North?
Yes.
AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
AFC North game or 2 or 3 on prime time, and they're always phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
usually very physical.
They're physical. They're talking shit. They're fighting, and it's just... It's football.
Yes.
That is football.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I like about both Pittsburgh and Baltimore is they're tough. They're punch you in the mouth football. They're hard football. And I like that. That's how I was raised. Yeah. So the football I watched growing up.
I think the Pittsburgh area and parts of Maryland are very similar, kind of similar culturally and So I think I actually remember when Deadspin was doing those articles why your team sucks.
Yes.
And they were basically said in one of those articles about either the Steelers or the Ravens, they're basically like the same white trash on both sides in the fan base. And I was like, yes.
You were clapping that. You're like, yes, white trash.
My people. So so I just love that rivalry. It's so much fun. And yeah, I think the Ravens have been on a downward slope as well. Kind of along the same lines as the Steelers, but they always seem to pull it out, you know, so I don't think they are what they once were, but they're still fun. They're fun to watch.
Well, we're going to try not to make this a AFC North circle jerk.
I know,
what are we
right?
doing
No
here?
Kidding.
Well, we're talking good stuff about them.
All right, let's go back to the NFC South.
Real quick, though, that made me think. You talked about the "Why Your Team Sucks" articles. You know, I don't recall if we had them last year or what was going on. I remember they used to be really funny, but then they
stopped being funny.
Yeah, they just got mean.
Yeah.
But it appears like they're at defector.com now and not Deadspin.
Oh. Isn't Deadspin defunct? I thought it went out of it. I think there was a whole bunch of drama in the newsroom where there was kind of an infiltration in the newsroom and they tried to turn it into something that it wasn't supposed to be. So I haven't even bothered to look because I'm like, oh, I'm not interested. And yeah, it did just get kind of mean a little bit towards the end. All right, let's bring it back to the NFC South. We talked about how Caleb Benenoch was signed by the Bills. Well, he didn't make it. He didn't make it. That didn't last too long. So the Saints were working out with him. We covered this in the news. Yeah. And the Saints signed Caleb Benenoch. So he is reuniting with Jameis Winston at New Orleans. I'm sure Jameis has like PTSD. He saw Caleb and he got the happy feet just looking at him.
It's horrible.
I know. Here's something horrible, like legitimate. Dick Vitale, famous Bucks fan. Yeah. What is he, an NFL, NBA announcer? Yeah. Announced that he has melanoma. So that
hopefully
was
it's not
sad.
The bad kind.
I know, but he's so old, right?
It's you young Bucks. Everybody over the age of 30 is old.
Come on, he's like 90. It's like not even.
He's not that old. So the Panthers in training camp.
Prayers to Dick.
Yeah.
Hope you recover, buddy.
Yeah. Panthers in training camp rookie Davion Nixon had 2 interceptions during training camp. The Panthers' record for all-time interceptions by a defensive tackle is 2. Guess who did it?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
You do?
On Twitter.
Yeah. Brinson Buckner.
Brinson Buckner.
How about that?
Coach Buck.
Coach Buck. Found that neat little tidbit of information.
Love it.
Now, the refs admitted that they screwed up on that try-on penalty.
I love it.
Yeah, so we were watching in the current, and the referee and try-on had so the refs came up to Tryon after the penalty where he got the putting his weight on the quarterback penalty. And me and Molly were listening to it, and we said, you know, it sounded like they kind of apologized, but then it didn't at the same time. Well, anyhow, it was posted, a clip today on social media that had the audio a little bit better, and it seemed like a better clip, but they definitely said that they screwed up. Yeah, they told him that they screwed up. They said that was a good hit. We screwed up on that one.
Well, here's the thing: is that you can like pick up the flag. So to me, it seemed like they threw the flag, then they just decided to stick with it, and the dissenting voice in the huddle, who probably got overruled by everybody else, it sounded to me like he was apologizing. Okay. He said, "Oh, I think we probably screwed that one up, but I think the others in the huddle disagreed. He got overruled somehow, and that's what happened. So I don't know.
Well, the referee committee sends out to teams when they have screwed up calls. I'm pretty sure. I'm not 100% sure about this, but I'm pretty sure they will send out to teams if they screw up a call after the game when they do all the reviewing and stuff. They'll send out to teams and say, here are the calls we messed up on. And I would like to see that. I think they should do that every week. They should have an accountability sheet by the referees showing, saying these are the calls we messed up on for every team.
And release it.
Yeah, and release it. Yeah, it should be an event.
Yeah.
Hey, we could keep stats on refs. Keep stats on refs. So this ref has got 12 bad calls, whatever. That'd be per game right there, 12 bad calls.
There were officials at the Bucs practice yesterday, on the 17th. So
With
earlier in the week.
With our scrimmage against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I guess that was Monday. So that's the first time that's happened at camp.
I wonder how much they get paid for that, the refs.
I know. And I bet the team bears the expense.
Mm-hmm. It's probably split between the two teams, but yeah. They hire them, bring them in, so the boys feel like they're comfortable with official refs and not the coaches out there as refs.
I know.
You know how that'd be? It'd be like every play, your team,
Flag.
the flag on the Tennessee Titans held our guys.
Oh, okay. You ready to talk about camp?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the Bucs who were held out of practice Thursday include center John Molchin, which, oh my gosh, why do our linemen keep getting hurt? Stop it. Stop it. Cam Gill is still out. Travis Johnson is still out. Troy Maine Pope and Tanner Hudson.
Tanner Hudson's still out? Dude, come on, man.
Also Tyler Johnson, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones, O.J. Howard, and Gronk were all without shoulder pads in the morning, but they did end up playing. So I don't know what this is from Pewter Report. And then Devin White, Levante, JPP, and Shaq Barrett also didn't have pads on this morning, but I know Devin White was definitely playing because there were a bunch of fights at practice today.
Yeah.
On Thursday. And
that's so funny because we were just talking about that in the last podcast, how we love the fighting.
I know.
we get 5 of them today.
And BA was like, he was talking all this shit before the joint practice, like, oh, we're not going to tolerate any fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And today, so the big fight, the one that started it, was Antonio Brown.
Oh, that was the first one?
Yeah. Antonio Brown and, hold on, let me, Chris Jackson, defensive back for the Titans. And I don't know what happened. I think Antonio Brown smoked the dude and he got mad. But anyway, it ended with Antonio Brown took the guy's helmet off and landed a haymaker right on the jaw.
Clocked him right in the chin.
Him. There's the most
beautiful picture. Yeah.
Best pictures with it right there. And it was great.
Yes.
I love it. Love it. And he did end up, they had him like walk off the field, like, hey, go cool it down. And then he came right back and smoked him again. Not with his fist. And
then Bruce Arians said that he was like, oh, I just saw pushing and shoving out there. And then he said in the AB, he was just swatting flies.
I love him so much.
I know.
He's
best
the best
coach ever.
Yes.
Man.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So then that was the first fight. Then we had there was a fight between wide receiver Fred Brown on the Titans and Herb Miller. Herb ended up on the bottom bitch. And
speaking of sex trafficking.
I know, right? So yeah, Brown was on top of Miller. So, and the Peter Report is saying he would not be pulled off. So, I don't know what happened there. And then another, somehow Devin White got into a fight. And I don't know, there was a KJ Britt fight and a Titans player. And they were saying that Peter Report said they had to be separated. But then Devin White, I think this might have been the one that Devin White was in. And apparently there was a whole pile up. He was in the middle. He picked up a player and suplexed him.
Yeah.
And then he had to be pulled away. And after the fight, after practice, he had a press conference where he said he saw one of his teammates in trouble, so he just had to get in there and help him out. Couldn't leave his teammate. And then the last fight was, I don't know who Jeffrey Simmons is, on one of their defensive players on the Titans, would not let go of Fournette after a play, so Ryan Jensen got in his face, apparently. And this from Peter Report, took both units to pull them apart. So, you
know, Jensen had to get in on one of them.
Mm-hmm.
That guy, he's just so physical and just he loves confrontation, man.
Oh, I love it so much. And God, this picture, if you have not seen this picture of Antonio Brown, I'm gonna retweet it right now so you guys can go look at it. It's amazing. It's just incredible. And yeah. And I didn't know this. Lewis Murphy is out there. Oh, that's
really?
not the one I wanted. Yeah, Lewis Murphy is former Buccaneers receiver. I want to say he was with us through the Josh Freeman days.
Nah, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
I think so. And he is a summer assistant coach with the Buccaneers. So he was actually there. He's in the picture trying to break up Antonio Brown. And the other guy, he's right there. So it was an awesome.
That's great
Day. It was, and wait, it gets better, because not only did we whoop their asses there, we also smoked them in practice. Like, the coaches were not thrilled with how they did on the Tennessee side. Even Vrabel was talking about it, how they were just, and yesterday the Titans had a pretty good day in practice. The Bucs had a lot of drops.
Wednesday?
Wednesday. The Bucs receivers had a lot of drops, like Peter Report was whining about, and then apparently Brady got picked off a few times, and it was just not the best day for the Buccaneers. I wouldn't say it was probably the worst. I don't know. I wasn't there, but not the best day. But apparently today the Bucs were like, yeah, we're not going down like that. And they just went off in practice. I was reading on the Titans website, they had an article out about it, and they just, Vrabel was not happy in his press conference. They noted that they weren't able to pick Brady off at all.
Ooh, I want to watch his press conference.
I know. They were not having a good day. So, I'm very happy to hear that.
Yes. Lewis Murphy played with us 2014, 2015.
Oh, okay. So it was way after Freeman.
Yeah.
Was that the Lovie Smith days?
Yes.
Okay. So what else we got?
He was in the league for 9 years, 2009 to 2017. 8 years.
That's crazy.
How many years?
I followed him on Instagram for a while.
8 years.
We're not gonna see Hainsey, the offensive
lineman.
Yeah, he's not gonna play Saturday. But BA said he hopes he'll be ready for the third game. So.
Okay, and he is a backup center.
Yeah.
And we just got him.
Yeah, we drafted him. I want to say second or third round, so he's pretty safe as far as cuts go.
Wow. This is deja vu.
All over again.
Yeah. From like 2 years ago. Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about this game coming up against the Titans. What are you watching for on the Buccaneers side?
Well, Blaine Gabbert is going to start as quarterback. Tom Brady's not going to play. What am I looking for? Offensive line, of course. I would imagine that.
It's so painful. It's painful. The Titans, they did not have their starters play week 1. So what we were watching was the second string. And as we talked about before, Atlanta and Tennessee both, it was like their offensive line optional.
Yeah,
not great.
They were getting destroyed, both teams.
On both sides of the ball. So I expect more of that this weekend.
Yeah. Blaine Gabbert's going to be running. Whoever their quarterback is going to be running.
Yeah.
For sure. They have a running back, number 32. Dang it, what's his name? He was good. He was up against the Falcons. He got off some pretty nifty moves. I liked him, and his name is going to come to me as soon as I get it pulled up.
As soon as Google tells you.
Darrington Evans. Okay. Yeah, so he's a handful. And it looks like if preseason is any indication, in preseason 1 game, they're still going to be a running team. You said they got rid of their offensive coordinator. He is now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. But it doesn't look like they're going to change much. They're just a run-first team. And now they got this Evans with Brian Hill backing that guy up. So they've got 7 running backs on their roster right now. Yeah. So they're definitely a run-first team. So expect us to be challenged in that area. And this is going to be pretty much our second-string guys. What about the rest of the first-team guys? We know Brady's not going to play, but does that mean he's not going to have any of the first-string guys out?
Yeah, I don't think so.
So we're going to wait till week 3 for them to play.
Which is so weird because Tennessee held all their guys out last week. So are their starters going to start? And this is what's weird is that I can't find it anywhere, whether they're going to start their starters or not.
For us or them?
The Titans.
Yeah. I would imagine they would. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, we'll find out.
They need some reps.
Yeah. Huh. Another thing I want to look for is our special teams, our punt return, and our kicking. Because
they were slippery against Atlanta.
Yeah. Yes, very much so.
Teams department.
They had 2 guys, number 80, Rogers, and number 12. Kinley, I think was his name. Yeah, they were both just great. I mean, 80 got a 65-yard punt return.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, he just, and it wasn't an easy one either. These guys are pretty shifty. And plus, we got to watch Suck Up. He missed. He got 4 out of 7 today.
Ooh.
Or yesterday. So.
I don't really care about these guys in preseason.
Right.
The kickers.
Yeah.
That much. I mean, maybe we should. Isn't that how we got burned by Aguayo? We've been burned before by kickers.
A lot.
How many times? It's not even just Aguayo.
All of them.
It's been like since, Matt Bryant.
Matt Ryan.
So,
Matt Bryant. Titans cornerback Janoris Jenkins. Remember him? He's on the Titans now. He used to play for the Saints.
Oh, he's the one that got that pick 6 against Tom Brady.
He's going to be playing. He's in the Titans. I don't know if he'll be playing because he's a starter, but did you know his name is Jackrabbit? That's what he goes by, Jackrabbit. He will not let you call him Janoris.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
you got to call him Jackrabbit?
Yes, there was he was interviewed on TV by one of the sideline reporters. I can't remember which one. And she called him Janoris, and he corrected her. And then she did it again. He corrected him again, and he was like, "Look, my name is Jackrabbit. I don't go by Janoris." And the team, Tennessee Titans, have his listed on the team as Jackrabbit.
Oh my God. He's like serious about that nickname.
He's dead serious.
I've never seen anyone so serious about a nickname. Yeah. I mean, when you have a nickname, you just go by it, but you still answer by your first name. I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah, and it's not like even a nickname that he got from some extreme circumstances. It was just what he was called in college by his coach or his high school coach or whatever. It's just stuck with him. But it's not, I don't think it's his legal name. I don't think he's changed it to Jackrabbit.
Well, and here's my question. Do they abbreviate it to just Jack? So then it's like a normal name, not Jackrabbit. What's he do if you call him Jack?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Get mad at you.
I know.
What can he do?
Jackrabbit.
He's been in the league for a while, though. This is probably his last stop, Tennessee Titans. I don't know if he's going to play, but that's going to be interesting to see. You know, I want to see Blaine Gabbert get out there and throw some a little bit more. I want to see more of Trask. You know, I liked Trask. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people didn't, but just from what I saw, he had great pocket presence, and he was throwing some bombs, some dimes. Perfect. And that just excites me.
I think it's impossible to judge anyone, particularly a rookie, by their first preseason appearance. It's just not really fair. And I know a lot of players get judged that way because it's just the nature of the business, and that's kind of the best system that they have. But especially for a draft pick like Kyle Trask, you can't make a judgment.
No, that's why I say I want to see him again and again. And I just want to keep seeing him. And if he holds up, then maybe put him in a game every now and then. Give Tom Brady a break or whatever. Blaine Gabbert, we know Blaine Gabbert. We know what he is. We know who he is. So we're going to see that. I want to see, what's his name, Darden?
Yeah, Jalen Darden.
Yes, I really want to see him out there.
Him.
Yes.
I want to see a win. I know it's preseason. Nobody cares about wins. I do. I want to win.
Yeah, well, you don't want to go into the regular season and lose all your preseason games. That
that's
never works out good.
I have PTSD from that. So,
Tryon, I want to see him some more. You know, he's exciting. The linebackers, I am so disappointed in Cam Gill. I really am. You know, and I think it might be, they draft Tryon, and I think Cam Gill was just like, are you serious? I will never get playing time. So maybe he's waiting to be moved to another team or whatever. But I mean, you get a hamstring, it's fine, whatever. But if you're not going to go out there on the practice field, that you're going to get cut. You know this, especially when there's 5 guys ahead of you who are all good. And if you don't put stuff on film out there and show it's sad. I hate to see it.
Yeah. So, Tanner Hudson. We're going to see.
He's going to blow it up.
Well,
it's preseason.
He's got that wrist injury.
Oh.
Like, what if he doesn't
He probably won't even play.
out?
Yeah, he probably won't.
He's going to get cut.
He's missed 2 practices this week.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you wonder, too, if BA's comments kind of got to him. I don't know. He's
the perfect example, just like Cam Gill. You've got 4 tight ends ahead of you, if you count McElroy. You could say McElroy and Tanner Hudson are at the same level. Mm-hmm. But you got 3 anyhow. You got 3 tight ends ahead of you that are going to make the team.
Yeah. And
there's one spot maybe that you're fighting for, and you're fighting with 2 other guys for it, and you're not even going to go out on the practice field. What's that say? What's that say to the coach? What does it say to everybody? To me, that's I give up. Trade me. Release me. I'll go to another team.
Right.
And kind of you can't blame these guys, because they want to play. They want to get out there, get the contracts, get the big money, all that good stuff. And they know they're not going to do it. They're not going to be able to do it on our team. Cam Gill would have to have 2 guys in front of him basically go down with injury before he would get a shot to get serious playing time. And same thing with Tanner Hudson. Last year, he only got a handful of plays because, we had Gronkowski, Brate, O.J. Howard were in front of him. O.J. Howard went down. Brate ended up getting hurt for a couple games there, and so Tanner Hudson got to go in. Of course, he didn't show anything when he went in. He actually played pretty badly, but to sit there and think, wow, well, I'm going to bust my butt on this team practicing in this heat, and 1, I might not make the team just because, or 2, if I do make the team, I'm not going to get any playing time this year.
Yeah.
So
but
I think
it's the nature of the business. I mean, the playing time issue. Yeah, I can see that where that would be an issue. But would you rather be on a team with no playing time or limited playing time, or just not be on a team?
Right.
I mean, that's your alternative.
Right. Well, they're hoping that other team will pick them up, But
it's a gamble.
It is a very big gamble, and I don't think it's right. These guys, you got to be like a wolf, man. You got to be take advantage of. You got to wait for your opportunity, and when it comes, you got to take advantage of it. Now, I think Tanner Hudson didn't do that last year. He had his opportunity, he didn't take advantage of it. But still, to not, to try again this year, you got to do it, man. You got to just sit there and wait, because you never know. It happens all the time where, 2 or 3 guys in a unit will get hurt, and then, next man up. Tanner Hudson might have to start 5 games as a first string tight end. You never know. So, you just got to be like a spider, waiting for your opportunity to pounce. And we've seen it. How many times have we seen it where guys, they're just like, I don't want to play here because I'm not going to start. So they go somewhere else. Vernon Hargreaves, I think he was like that.
How many people didn't want to really try here because they didn't want to be with the Bucs? Because, we were coming off a 4-12 season or a 7-9 season. So.
Ain't like that now, though, is it?
It ain't.
We the reigning champs. What up?
Which I loved in that Tennessee Titans article from the team website. They talked about how we were the defending champs, and they were glad to see their guys up against the reigning champs and, that caliber of opponent. And I'm like, yes. They don't normally talk about us like this.
Yes. No. God, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
We are the measuring stick. It's everybody that plays us is going to want to beat us just so that they can say, hey, we beat the champs. We are the best team. Although, some people still think the Chiefs are, but there's always the idiots. But everybody's coming at us with their A game. They're going to have to. And they're good. They're going to want to be able to have that on their resume. We beat Tom Brady and the champs,
Oh, did you see that the Cowboys, they're saying Dak Prescott probably won't even play until the regular season. He's not going to play any preseason.
I don't know, man.
So they going to get JPP and Shaq Barrett going to give you a nice welcome.
Vita
warm
and Sue,
welcome back to the league.
That's going to be your preseason game. Laying on your back.
You're going to be hurting.
Oh, my goodness. That's going to be such a fun game.
I know.
We are just going to beat the mess out of them. Because I really do feel like, just the interviews I've seen with these guys and all the stuff I've heard and watching them play and they're in practice. Did you see Chris Godwin's one-hand catch?
No.
Oh, my God. The guy was draped on him. I thought there was no way he was going to catch that. And he just the ball landed right in the bread basket, and Chris Godwin just stuck his hand out and caught it like a nothing. You heard all the fans that were watching it just go, oh my God. Everybody was clapping. It was amazing.
Was it him or Tyler Johnson?
No, it was Chris Godwin.
Because I saw there was a Tyler Johnson one-handed catch today.
Oh no, are you serious? I could have swore it was Chris Godwin.
I don't know. We'll look it up. We'll fact check it. I want to see the video that you're talking about. So
it was great.
Fact check.
But my point behind all that was something else that I've totally forgot what I was talking about. Do you remember?
What?
I don't know. I was like, oh, the Chris Godwin catch. But before then, I was running my mouth about something.
Dak Prescott, we're just going to destroy everyone.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Oh, no. Our team seems extremely fired up to prove that last year was not a fluke. I mean, they seem like they're chomping at the bit to get out there. All of them.
And that's what they said about today. It seemed like Tampa was very fired up, and they did not like how practice went. It was Wednesday and then Thursday, so they came out there and were just absolute animals.
Yeah, I mean, Antonio Brown's ripping helmets off and punching people in the face. You Jensen's out there. Devin White's out there body slamming people.
Dude, and BA's like, didn't see a thing.
Yeah, he was like, they were swatting flies. I loved it. He had a little grin on his face, too. He was just swatting flies.
Oh, I love him so much. Oh my gosh. So Mike Vrabel and Tom Brady
coach.
were teammates.
Mm-hmm.
The head coach of the Titans.
Yeah, I remember when Vrabel played. Yeah.
Oh, you do? I don't remember him. Oh, well, he played for New England from 2001 to 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 3 rings together, him and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And apparently the last time the Patriots and the Titans had a joint practice, and that was in 2018, Tom Brady had a little mini trophy made for Vrabel because during the regular season, the Titans beat the Patriots, or maybe that was that wasn't during the playoffs. It was during the regular season, and then the Patriots went on to win the Super Bowl. So, Tom Brady was trolling his teammate with this little tiny trophy.
You gotta love it. Tom Brady's got a good sense of humor, it seems like.
James Harrison was on Pat McAfee the other day, and he was talking about, he played for the Patriots briefly with Tom Brady, I think a year, maybe 2 years. And he said, I really wanted to hate Tom Brady, but I could not. You can't hate him.
Yeah. Yes, I feel like that's how most fans in the league are. Mm-hmm. You want to hate the guy, but at the same time, you're watching probably the best athlete that's ever played a sport.
There's so many people who cannot even acknowledge. They do. They have Brady derangement syndrome.
Well, they will once he retires. Then it seems like that's when everybody acknowledges things. But we're living in a time that nobody's ever going to beat this. It really is a spectacular thing we're witnessing. It'll never happen again in sports.
I know. And you just watch him and you're like, this is just, the things that he does to a team, to bring a team together. Like, look what he did to the Buccaneers. He just completely changed the culture. And, we went from a team, and BA just said this, we went from a team who was constantly beating itself, constantly, to, nothing could stop us. We were just unstoppable. And I think, you don't do that without Tom Brady.
Yeah. Leadership is a big thing. And, I don't think Tom Brady is a whole rah type leader. And he's not the type of leader that, is all about, I lead through actions, the quiet type. He just seems to be a very confident, technical, do your job, all that good stuff. But he's got this leadership quality about him, the intangibles. Now, Jameis Winston did not have that. Josh Freeman definitely didn't have it. Josh Freeman, he was embarrassed to be in front of a microphone. He was a really shy guy and all that good stuff. And that's one of the things with leadership is there's a lot to leadership, but one of the big things is that any group that follows a leader, that has a leader, that group takes on the characteristics of the leader. Mm-hmm. It's just how the world is. It happens in the animal kingdom. It happens with humans. It happens with cells. Leadership is infectious. And Tom Brady's very technical, and he's very competitive. And, Jameis Winston was very goofy is the word I'm going to throw out there. So he's always struck me as goofy. And you saw that with us, and now we're seeing it. We saw it with the Saints preseason game when he was in there, that all the other players start making these weird mistakes. Like the running back that fumbled. They run into each other, and then the running back's tripping up, and then he just fumbles the ball out. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's contagious.
It is. It's contagious. Leadership is contagious. And, now that, Brady came, it's everything seems to be very like clockwork. You're not getting a lot of silly mistakes and dumb stuff. And I think that's what Brady has brought, the professionalism. Show up to work, you do your job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he's just raised the standard.
Yeah.
So the bar is just so high. So high. And to me, like, I don't want to be that guy that's in there, making my team with Tom Brady on it look bad.
Right.
Like,
right.
you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, you know it's not going to be Tom Brady. Now, when Jameis Winston was a quarterback, everybody knew he was going to screw up. He was going to throw interceptions and make silly plays and all. I mean, he had some great plays, but you knew he was going to make some mistakes. With Tom Brady, you don't get that. You go, if we lose this game, it ain't going to be because of Tom Brady. I mean, he did lose us one game last year, and that was when he forgot what down it was.
Yeah,
the Chicago game.
Yeah.
That was so weird. But, other than that, it ain't going to be Tom Brady while you lose a game. And so you don't want to be the guy that the game is lost because of, and then have Tom Brady come at you later and be like, oh, dude, what are you doing?
Well, yeah, I don't want to disappoint Tom Brady. Would
Right.
you want to disappoint Tom Brady?
No, I bet Bruce Arians doesn't want to disappoint Tom Brady.
That would be probably the worst day of my life. If I disappointed Tom Brady. I would never forget that. You'd be thinking about, the shower thoughts on the things you could have, should have, would have done.
You'd have it in your
Worst.
tombstone. It'd be like greatest regret, disappointing Tom Brady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to be around the guy because you'd be scared of disappointing him, and then that'd be all you thought about for the rest of your life.
So much pressure. So much pressure.
I'd be worried about, am I shaking his hand right? Is this good?
I don't think I could speak. I'd just be just nothing. Couldn't do it. I'd be sweating, clammy. Wouldn't want to shake his hand because I'm all clammy.
I had that happen to me with one celebrity, and it was I guess you could say she was a B-C celebrity, not famous at all. C-list, yeah, probably. And I bumped into her, didn't expect to see her, and I just got tongue-tied. I couldn't. It's never happened to me before, but she's always had a special place in my heart. She's got the number one crying scene of any movie. Once We're Warriors.
Yeah. Now you got to say what the movie is.
Yes, Once We're Warriors. New Zealand movie. Great movie. Great, great, great movie. Anyhow. So, yeah, I'd probably be like that with Tom Brady, too.
I know.
Yeah.
How could you not? I just, I think about at the training camp, because we went for your birthday 3 years ago, and we got to meet a lot of the players, and it was intimidating. We saw JPP and Mike Evans, and Deshaun Jackson was there, and all these high profile players they are, and I didn't really have an issue with any of them. But can you imagine being at practice and Tom Brady comes over to talk to fans and sign autographs and stuff? Well, first of all, there'd be a stampede. It would be an absolute madhouse. I wonder if he does it. If any of you have been at camp this year,
well, I don't think they're allowing.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah, they're not doing there's no interaction with the fans. You have to keep.
Yeah.
They're not doing autographs and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Keep the unwashed masses away.
The unclean.
Yeah.
The non-essential.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
You gross people. Germ phobes.
So do you think that the physicality that was shown at practice yesterday with the fights, do you think that that's going to carry over into the game?
Oh, hell yes, it will. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, particularly for all the Titans players that got bitched up. They don't want to go out like that.
But are they even going to play? Is this going to be the second string?
Starter? No, but I think that energy, that chippy, I think it'll be a little chippy.
Antonio Brown's out there going, I'll give $1,000 to anybody that punches that dude in the face.
I know. Or they're at least going to talk shit to him about it. Wouldn't you?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun
game.
Dude.
That's
going to be a fun game. Like I said, we watched the Atlanta-Tennessee game, and it was a good game. It was a good game. The Titans seem like a pretty solid team again this year. Got a little bit of depth going. I can't believe they've stacked their running back room like that. Good Lord.
I know.
That's like the Saints. The Saints got that 35, who you said he reminded you of Kamara, and except he seems bigger and stronger than Kamara.
Yeah.
I was like, man, come on. They can't do that. It's like a team that's got 3 good quarterbacks. You're like, what are
you doing? Or
Save
what
some for
about,
the rest
like,
of
a
us.
stacked wide receiver room, or
Tight end.
pass rushers,
Or linebackers.
linebackers, or defensive backs,
Yeah.
or offensive line, or defensive line.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what else you got?
That's all that I got.
That's it?
That's it.
You want to give a prediction on the game Saturday?
Yeah. No.
No?
Yeah. Sure. Put me on the spot.
Yeah. Do it.
Gosh, okay. Blaine Gabbert starting?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go with 17-16. The Buccaneers.
Wow, you're going to be a close one, huh?
Yeah.
Low scoring but fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
I'm going to write this down.
Yes. I'm going to go with 2016 Buccaneers.
All right. I got it.
Okay. So there we go.
We didn't do one last week.
No, we didn't. We're still getting, it's a preseason for us too.
I know.
We're still
You know,
getting
I
in the
did
groove.
think about it last time, but I just didn't say it. Didn't speak up. So we should start make our record public. We need to have a score sheet at the end of the year.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm going to try not to, I always pick the Bucks. I'm going to try not to do that this year. I think I said that last year too, but it's just so hard for me. I'm going to try to be dead serious about my picks this year. So do some serious analysis. And I'll tell you what, guys, the Game Pass right now, don't sign up for it. It's a mess.
Oh my gosh.
If you haven't, if you're thinking about it, just wait. It's a mess, but there's no all 22. There's no coaches film. There's no play selection. It's very, very basic. And they better bring it back, because if they don't, I'm dropping that service. It's the only reason why I got it is for the all 22. But I had some clips I wanted to pull up, and it took me about 20 minutes to get 3 clips, because I had to find them in the game, instead of being able to just go, oh, it's at 11:47 in the third quarter.
Gosh.
Yeah. Oh, it's so annoying.
I just don't understand how this happens every year.
How can you?
Are they hiring the same trash developers every year?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the issue?
Don't know.
They got some Microsoft developers up in there.
They're definitely not listening to fan feedback. I could tell you that.
Why would they? They sell the crap out of that thing anyway.
They're above us.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for us. Till next time.
Go Bucks.